Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Playthrough with me, your host Tim. And today, we will begin playing through Halycon 6, Starbase Commander together. Oh man, holy crap, that was some well-placed drums, almost like I've done this part 50 times now. Hey everyone, alright, hello, yes, welcome to Halycon 6, Starbase Commander, a game by the developers Massive Damage. You can skip ahead, by the way, because I'm going to talk for a tiny bit about the game before we begin, via a link in the lower right-hand corner. You can click on that and you'll be taken to the tutorial. So, what is Halycon 6? It's kind of hard to describe this game. First off, it was a Kickstarter I backed several years ago now. I think it was 50 bucks down on the game, might have been 60, might have been 40. I can't remember actually how much I put toward the game. Game's finally out of early access. Game's pretty fun. I've played the game for only about 2 hours so far, but enough to know I like this game. I've already sworn at it a few times when combat wasn't going my way. Any game that makes me rage at it and then laugh at how dumb I am for getting angry, that's bound to be a good game. It strikes me as a combination of role-playing game, exploration, and resource management. I'm not even going to... okay, well, I am going to try to describe it. Here we go. Combat reminds me of the original Final Fantasies. You'll have your guys on one side, the enemy will be on the other, and you'll take turns slugging it out. The resource management takes place in several different types of, well, areas. We have our Starbase here, which looks very much like a Cuttle command, I must say. Most awesome ship ever. But anyway, our Cuttle command, yeah, sure, our Cuttle command here, we'll have to manage space on the vessel, similar in a way that we had to for the new XCOM series, the Ant Farm view. We'll have to manage resources and risk in the galaxy map. We'll be able to gather different types of resources from different types of collectors left out in the world. Similar a little bit to like how Armageddon Empires, how you have these resource collectors. Imagine a world where they're out there, and you have to go to them in order to pick up the resources and then bring them back to your base. But while they're out there, you run the risk of losing them from enemies walking into them and beginning to siege them and destroy them. Actually, yeah, that's probably a very good way to describe it. Yeah, so I guess combination Armageddon Empires when it comes to resources, if you also have to bring them back. Base building like the Ant Farm from XCOM, and combat like Final Fantasy. There's a story in it as well, an overarching story and some small subplots from what I can tell. The game is more story-driven than other games of its sort, from what I can tell. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, we're gonna see it together. I say weird. It's not a bad thing at all. I wish I could think of a game that it's like. Maybe the Spirit Engine 2 might be a good way to describe how the story works. How there's definitely a story. It doesn't change, but the encounters you do change somewhat depending upon where you are. You can have random encounters, and you can farm a little bit or maybe a lot from what I can tell. I've only played the game for an hour and a half, 2 hours tops, everyone, so I don't really have anything more to say on that. The story itself is both serious at certain times from what I can tell, but it's also very funny, and I can tell they've put a lot of thought into all the different races we're going to encounter and what they're like, both in a humorous way and in a not humorous way. Okay, so that's all I've got so far. I'm going to go and check on this recording really quick to make sure the volume level is good. And we'll be back and we'll start a new game and do the tutorial. So I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. The music's slightly too loud from where I had it, which is really weird because I can barely hear the music here. But it's apparently a little too loud, so I'm going to lower it. We should lower it a little bit more, Tim, just to be safe. Let's put it here. Okay, other than that, though, it sounds good. So, let's go ahead and start the tutorial. Oh, before I do that, the tutorial itself will rush us through. It'll skip over some things which I feel are important to know. It's not really a knock at the tutorial. There's a lot that's involved in combat. I will cover some of the parts that I think it skips over more in depth when we're out of the tutorial altogether. Another heads up that the tutorial itself will basically force us to do all these certain things. I cannot make any deviations. We'll be clicking on all the things. I will read all the things it says, and hope you guys are able to pick the stuff up. If there's anything you feel that you didn't get, don't worry. We'll be covering it as we play the game. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so we have the main campaign. We're going to go ahead and select this. We could skip the tutorial by selecting Skip Prologue, which will start us out at Day 0, having none of the tutorial done, as opposed to the main campaign, which will end by about Day 21 or so in-game, maybe about Day 17. I think about Day 21 is about when it feels like it's over. As for difficulty level, over here, we're going to pick Commander. It is, after all, Halycon 6. I think that's how you say it. Starbase Commander. And we are experienced with the space strategy games, and we also enjoy a healthy challenge. This is the way Halycon 6 is meant to be played. Once I see a game say that, that's the level I select. Alright, everyone. Let's do it. Key to combat is exploiting status effects with stuff. For half a millennium, the spacefaring races of the galaxy fought and conspired against one another for supremacy. But it was the Terran Federation, through the ingenuity and bravery of its officer class, that ultimately prevailed. Through the discovery and utilization of ancient artifacts left over from a long-dead precursor alien race, they put an end to the disastrous series of wars between the factions. One of these precursor artifacts is your home, Halycon 6. The crown jewel of the Terran precursor discoveries, this Cuttle Command acts as the Federation's home base in the Halycon sector. Commanded by Admiral Brimachandra, the Federation's most decorated officer, and protected by the 12th Fleet, the Starbase is permanently staffed with a variety of Federation officers with the mission of unlocking its mysteries. Today, however, the station has received some unwelcome news, a garbled hypercast ordering the 12th Fleet's return to Federation space. With the intention of returning as soon as possible to continue the work on the experiment, Admiral Brimachandra leaves you in charge of the station. Prepare for warp! Yes, sir, Mr. Computer. Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. We also can rapidly accelerate time. Commander McLaurin. Admiral, we've arrived at the rendezvous point, and there's no sign of the welcoming force. No hypercast signals detected either. Think we're early? Broaden your signal detection, Captain. The 4th and 8th fleets are expected to join us as well, and those Titan-class ships should be hard to miss. Admiral, I'm picking up something. Definitely not Federation in origin. Some kind of... whatever it is, it's getting stronger, sir. I've never seen anything like this before, sir. Some kind of portal. Admiral, I'm suddenly getting multiple ship readings, all heading for our position. It must be coming out of that thing. Unknown hostiles. I repeat, unknown hostiles. We might have to get a little creative here. Commander, they're pairing up weapons. We should take the initiative and attack first. Click on the highlighted button to attack with the incisor beam power. So you can see information about the skill we're going to use right here. We'll cover all of this once the tutorial is over. We're just going to follow the tutorial to the letter. Target the spiked alien to fire the incisor beam. No problem. Next, use the backstab maneuver to inflict ship disabled and prevent your enemy from attacking. Target the ocular vessel to disable it. Excellent. Now select Drone Swarm attack to attack all enemies at once. Target any enemy, because this ability affects all of them. Some enemies have resistances against certain status effects. You can right-click on an enemy to view their vulnerabilities and resistances. The ocular vessel seems to be powering up a large attack. Shield yourself with protective field to mitigate the damage. Target any ally. The ocular vessel still has a ship disabled status. Fire bridge shot to combo and exploit the ship disabled status for extra damage. Watch and learn, Admiral. Great! Combos occur when an attack exploits a status effect, like ship disabled. Don't get too cocky, Commander, they're not dead yet. That's right. Well, look how angry it looks. Select the Acid Bomb's power to attack your enemies, doing damage over several rounds. Target any enemy. Oh, God! What is... Holy crap! Oh, my God! When ships are in critical condition, any further damage could result in complete destruction. Use cauterized hull to repair the ship immediately. Target the Admiral's Paladin ship and repair it to leave critical condition. Now, select Strafing Run and try to finish them off. Or Strafing Run. Target any enemy. Great job. However, the Admiral still is in bad shape. Select the Repair Drone Overdrive power to repair. Target the Admiral's Paladin to repair itself over time and remove any negative status effects. Use the Ninja's Doom Cannon as the last resort. It can only be used once, so make it count. You can tell that by the little 1 above this ability. This is our last shot. Fire the Doom Cannon! Commander McLaurin's Ninja is in critical condition and is taking damage over time from hull breach. If it is not repaired immediately, it might be destroyed. This seems to work similar to how Darkest Dungeon's death works. The Warlock's cauterized hull repair power has no more uses left. Your only hope is to use Status Lock to disable the enemy. Target the Ocular Vessel. He resisted the daze, but his engines are down. Now finish it off with the Paladin's Dreadnought Ram. This will exploit engines down and do extra damage because of it. We've lost a ship, but the battle is almost won. Select Solar Flare to finish it off. Admiral, we're picking up more of those portals on sensor. We're being surrounded. Admiral, we need to jump now. Back to Halycon 6. I've got... Oh, God. What is that? That thing! Jump now, for God's sake, jump! New Terran Federation. Commander, we seem to have lost our hypercast link with Admiral Brimachandra and the 12th Fleet. Halycon 6. Starbase Commander. With the 12th Fleet destroyed and little information as to whether the Federation still even stands, you and your crew are stranded in hostile alien territory, cut off from resupply, and in desperate need of more crew. You have little choice but to continue working on Admiral Brimachandra's experiment to try to unlock the power of the station. Meanwhile, enemies may soon catch wind of the Federation's weakness and use that as an opportunity to strike and claim the station for themselves. Choose your first officer. Alright everyone, we get to choose one of these officers as our first. From what I can tell, the first officer gets a little bit of extra special stuff compared to our other choices later in the game. It's always been these 3 choices as well. I've always gone with the one on the right, and I'm going to do so again. We're going to choose here Isolde Freehold. So she has all these space combat powers. She has all these ground combat powers. Space combat is used when you're in your spaceship. Ground combat is if you find yourself someplace that's not a spaceship. She herself will be then using these powers. Considered a technological prodigy at a young age, Isolde Freehold, at the age of 5, was the youngest student to ever admitted to the Academy of Engineers. At age 16, she purposefully disfigured herself, transplanting some home-cooked cyborg appendages to key parts of her anatomy, leading to several psych evaluations which she, with the help of her newfound processing power, passed with flying colors. Good for you, Isolde. Welcome aboard, officer. The type of officer you select will determine the starting ship you also get. as a heads up. Isolde Freehold here will gain an engineering ship, which is a tanking ship, if you will. Tactical would be a rogue in Dungeons & Dragons, and science would be support, or a white mage would be what I consider the science vessel. Let's select this officer. Engineering officers are the toughest and mechanically minded officers in the Federation. Their power repertoire often consists of damage over time attacks, hard-hitting attacks, and taunts, while buffs often protect itself from harm. In space combat, engineering officers are able to command engineering ships, which have the toughest hull of the 3 ship class types: tactical, science, and engineering. We're going to confirm our choice here. Sorry to wake you, Commander, but it looks like we have a situation. Oh, that's fine, computer. This is my room, I think. That's my bed. Yes. Our sensors have picked up a fleet coming to our direction. Picked up a fleet coming our direction. The signals suggest a pirate origin. We should expect them to arrive here in 48 hours. In case of hostilities, the experiment may be our only hope to defend ourselves. The crew will work around the clock to make the necessary preparations. Commander, the oncoming fleet we detected has just entered our airspace. It's a single pirate ship, likely hostile. Patching them through now. Federation Starbase. Our scouts detected the departure of your fleet over a week ago. You're now at the mercy of Admirax Zeb and the Zealots clan. This is Rar Zub Toe Slicer McCormack. Hand over the Starbase, and we'll allow you to return to Federation space. Comply, or we will commence with orbital bombardment. This is a scenario screen. This screen will appear during missions that require key. Alright, so we get to choose something here. We will reject their offer of surrender. I never actually chose surrender, but I'm not going to do it now either. I forgot. You Federals love your precursor toys. Prepare for bombardment, Federation scum. Commander, in light of this development, we should begin initializing the experimental Starbase creation process now. Click on the ship construction button. Alright everyone, this is how we're going to be actually able to construct new ships. The Knight-class engineering vessel is currently the only starship the Starbase is able to build. Now, not really, but for the tutorial, this is the only one you're going to be able to select on, because your starting officer is a engineering officer. You should give that officer an engineering ship. I think you have to. And anyway, let's go ahead and select the ship down here, and then we can click on the construction button. Look at our people working over there, programming stuff in. Now click the build button. Oh, before we do that, oh, I can't. Okay, it's going to take us 60 crew and 400 dark matter. Up here are our resources. Yep, crew, materials, metal basically, dark matter, energy, and fuel, along with the number of people on our starbase. Let's go ahead and construct. It will take 3 days to construct it. This starbase will take... Oh, this starship will take these many days to build. 3 days, it's in the queue. Okay, no problem. To skip time, you'll first need to return to the star map. Then, click here to skip time. So similar to the new XCOM, we can accelerate time by clicking this button. Now, yes, we are being sieged at the moment as well, but it's only a small ship, so I don't think it matters overly much. Commander, we're ready to launch in T-minus 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Matter creator deployed. Commander, the experiment was a success. All scans suggest this newly constructed ship to be combat ready. She just requires an officer to command her. The Halycon 6 is basically, the experiment works, from what I can tell here, as a giant 3D printer able to construct spaceships by you programming it in and giving it the necessary materials to build it, and then crew assigned to fly it. Select your first officer, Isolde Freehold, to assign her to the Knight ship. There you go. To dispatch this ship, you'll need to return to the star map by clicking here. The enemy fleet is stationed at Starbase approach. Click there now. Here we go. Click send fleet. Well, click the send fleet button to dispatch a fleet to this location. Here we go. The approach to Starbase. Any enemy fleets wishing to bombard Halycon 6 will likely take this exact position. So they won't go to our actual Starbase, they'll go here, and we can send a fleet there to intercept them. We'll select this ship. These, by the way, are the abilities the ship has at the moment. And click Launch Fleet to dispatch your fleet to the selected location. It costs us no fuel to reach there as well, and will automatically forward time on our way there. The pirate ship swoops into attack position. Let's attack it. Okay, down here you can see the turn order. We're going first, then the enemy, then us, then the enemy. Different ships have different amounts of speed. I think we might be able to see the speed on the ship construction, perhaps? I don't see it here. All these powers have different abilities, and in fact, we should probably begin covering this now, because the combat tutorial is basically over, but there's some important things we'll need to know here. First off, all your abilities obviously have a name. They target one or more enemies or one or more allies. It will say so below the name of the ability. You can see the amount of damage it does before enemy resistances and or armor is taken into effect. So right now, this ability says it will do 53 through 94 points of damage. If you were to select the ability, we can see it will indeed do that much damage to the Navigator MK1. Oh, yes. The construct... Oh, by the way, this exploits engines down and also has a base chance to hit. Exploits mean that if the enemy was suffering from that status effect, this ability will consume the status effect, so it will drop it off the enemy, and in return, you do additional damage to the enemy. I want to say it's 100% or like 70% more. I don't actually know the number. It's not a critical hit. It's just, from what I can tell, it's just extra damage. So we can see this ability here inflicts hull breach. This ability does damage over time, which is listed by the plus 39 times 3 rounds. It's a 95 base chance to inflict that on the enemy. The Navigator here is especially vulnerable to propulsion and engines down abilities, resisting it at minus 50%. If we were to hover over these abilities, we can see what it has as well, and its chances to either hit or afflict us with another ability. I actually don't see Energy Field having a chance to hit, so this must be 100%, or it can never ever miss. In any case, let's go ahead and use an ability. Let's start with Deconstruct. Our turn now. Now if you hovered over down here, we could see that the effect here, the ship's hull is breached and is taking 200% base damage over 3 rounds. So that's that plus 39 times 3. We could hit it again, but we might as well mix it up. It doesn't really do anything for us to put another dot on it. It doesn't stack. I don't even think it... I think it does refresh the effect. I'll find out later in the game if it actually does that. Let's go ahead and try Shock Mine. It disables the target, which I think... Well, we'll find out if it actually sticks with it. Ship disabled. The ship is immune to further ship disabled effects for this period. Oh, okay, so it's immune to any other ship disabled at the moment until this goes off cooldown. You might not be able to tell, but there is like a light shaded and a dark shaded. It's basically a clock, as if you had used an ability from like World of Warcraft or another MMO, and it's basically about to end. This ability has a little bit left of time, maybe another 1 round, and this is about half done, so we've stunned it for 1 round. Once this effect ends, the ship will recover and also gain a nice amount of disable resistance, so you can't keep stun locking something. Let's use Flak Barrage and hit him with some just good damage. Critical hit as well. Nice. That was a critical hit. I don't know what the percentage is to land a critical hit at the moment. It didn't take advantage of anything we had on the enemy. That would be an exploit instead. We get 25 materials and 35 dark matter. Looks like our new ship held up pretty well, though I doubt that's the worst we'll face. Commander, we have a long-range hypercast coming in. Putting it through now. From time to time, the leaders of various factions may contact you via the station bridge. I don't believe we met. Feel free to refer to me as the Admirax, a title that denotes my supreme command over the pirate clans in this sector. Now, Commander, or should I say, acting Commander, my spies tell me I should congratulate you on your new post. They've also informed me that your fleet has fled the sector, leaving you on your own. And so, I'm giving you the courtesy of informing you that we'll be visiting you very soon. And this is my territory. And so your station now belongs to me. And, unlucky for you, I have united all the pirate clans to help me take it. I highly suggest you turn tail and return to Federation space. If you are of another mind, stay where you are, and prepare for your deaths. Incoming enemy, it's still the tutorial though, so we can't do anything at the moment. Ches, Slobchoker Grunwald, time for death, Federation Pig. By the way, the number of vessels displayed here might not be the number of vessels inside the enemy formation. When we're actually out of this tutorial section, we'll be able to, I think, click on them, and you'll be able to see the listed ships. I will avenge the death of Rarzarb Toeslicer and deliver this station to the Amarax. Sorry, what? I can't hear you. These massive death cannons I'm warming up are really loud. Now this is actually a tough fight, because if we miss like twice, we will be crippled. So we really can't afford to miss. And these are shivs. They have a lot of dodge on them. They only have spray and pray. Not a great, well actually that's a decent chance to hit, damage is low, but they are also very quick. Look at their actions down here. That's really, really freaking quick. Alright, so let's try using a deconstruct on one of them. And they have evade, so they have a minus 10% chance to hit, so our chance to hit is 90%. Believe it or not, I've missed several times in a row, even with 99%. So it's quite possible that we'll miss several times here. Nice, and we evaded them, thank goodness. Holding up. Let's go ahead and flak barrage it as well. If he takes 39 damage again, we can begin focusing on the other one. Damage is dealt when my turn comes up, as opposed to them activating on their turns. Let's use another deconstruct. The ship down there will destroy itself because of our dot when it activates next. That's right, when we activate again. Let's try shocking him and disabling him if we're able to. Nope, he resisted that effect. We do go again, though. If we land this flak barrage, they will be destroyed. Battle 1. Awesome. I love the sound effects in this game, by the way. The ship's destruction sounds amazing. Well, looks like we'll have no shortage of charred metal for the time being. Thank you, Isolde. You can always return your fleet to the Starbase by first clicking on your desired fleet, and then clicking on the Return Home button. Commander, the crew is eager to regain our full sensor capabilities. To do that, we'll require an extra source of energy. The good news is the tech research team has figured out a way to harness the station's core reactor with a smaller standard-issue dithrium reactor. Click on the tech research button to go to the tech screen. Click on the dithrium reactor, Diothrium reactor tech. Now, this is a bit weird because normally the tech screen doesn't look like this, but this is all we currently have in the tutorial, so this is all that's shown. Normally it'd be slightly larger and more branched out, and I have a hunch as we go through the game it will get even larger than that. So don't feel like this is all we have to research is this one thing. We'll see the entire, well, more of the tech tree, at least what I've seen so far, once the tutorial is done. Now click research, so we can see that this will allow us to build a Halycon 6 power source. It doesn't actually build it, lets us research the tech to build it. And these stations will build plus 20 power. It costs 200 materials and 100 dark matter to construct it. We'll immediately research it successfully once we click it. There is no time invested or involved in doing so. With the Diothrium reactor tech researched, it's time to create a space in the station for the reactor itself. And click on the ruined room below. So, like the XCOM ant farm, we can see, we have to first clear spaces. Now, it's a little more involved, however, than XCOM. we have to actually assign an officer to the task to clearing it. It would be the equivalent of assigning one of your people from the new XCOM to the job of just clearing this space. So let's go ahead and add our only officer, Isolde of Freehold. We can confirm the task, and I would love to see what this is here, but I cannot do so. So we run some risks that the game hasn't told us about. While we're clearing the room, we could get a battle here against things that were living here beforehand. I've only done 2 battles in the space station so far. I am not familiar with the creatures that we fight. I just know the 2 I did fight were really tough, and I almost lost the officer. When we have these fights, we will also get 2 cadets with us during the fight. They have randomly chosen abilities, but they will die quickly in the combat from what I can see. By the way, clearing a room also will grant us some stuff. In this case, 42 materials. It also will take 2 days for Isolde to complete that. Alright, let's go back to the star map and advance the time. We have to wait 2 days. 1. And done, I think. Commander, we've cleared out that section you asked for. So Isolde gained 3 experience and 42 materials. Acknowledged. Your exploration team has successfully cleared the room. Now that the room is cleared, select the Diothrium reactor. It's 300 materials and no energy to run this reactor. And you can see that we're running at 60 and 60, so we're all maxed out. We'll construct this room in that spot, yep. And now we turn to the world map, and we have to wait 4 more days until it's finished. So it seems familiar a little bit, right? Kind of like how XCOM works when it comes to construction. And I think the combat, it reminds me of Final Fantasy. The station is fully powered, Commander, and our sensors are back online. We've compiled a navigational map of all Federation systems and facilities. As loyal members of the Federation officer class, it is our duty to protect these facilities at all cost. In case of attack, these facilities will transmit distress signals to us. Depending on the level of danger in the area, you may wish to evacuate them. See all these asteroid fields and stuff like that? They're all places we can go and explore. They're places that can come under attack, and they're places that might be able to give us resources. But they will come under attack from the enemies, and then we might lose them forever, from what I can tell. Oh, like right here. Here we go. Distress signals will always be listed in the missions panel. Click here to access it, down here in the lower right-hand corner. Distressed Refinery, Ghost Head. Missions with specific locations will have a Go To button for convenience. Send your fleet to the nearby nebula. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and do that. Distressed Refinery, Nebula. Nebula contain pockets of rare gas that can be refined into warp fuel. Distressed Refinery. The fuel refinery at Ghost Head Nebula is calling for help against a never-before-seen encountered alien vessel. Never-before-encountered alien vessel, actually. Alright, we're sending it over Isolde. Now, your ships, if they're damaged, they do repair slowly over time, but if they're heavily damaged, it can take a long time to repair them that way. And you're probably best using dark matter. We've spent, I think it was 7 days, and our ship didn't take too much damage, so it looks like it's at full life at the moment, full health. Okay, what's this guy? Let's look on him. Young Aberrant, or Apparent. Chaos Cannons, does 52 through 66, and has weapon systems, or I'm sorry, it does weapon systems damage, and it inflicts weapons disruption, which I can't see what that actually does at the moment. And Brewpods heals a single ally that can be itself for 52 through 66 points of damage. Our ship itself has no vulnerabilities or resistances. Alright, let's go ahead and do the thing. Let's start with Deconstruct. Critical hit! Our sensors are disrupted. The ship's weapons are disrupted and does reduced damage. Let's go ahead and shock it. And then we'll flak barrage it. And we have to get it one more time. Yeah, let's just use another flak barrage. Battle 1. Not a lot of stuff, but hey, that wasn't so bad. Good thing you turned up when you did, sir. Whatever that vessel was, it managed to chew up our only sentry ship a few days ago. Did some nasty damage to our refinery also. My crew's pretty shaken up. The good news is we've got some fuel reserves from before the attack. Just give the word, we'll transfer them over to you. Every day that this refinery exists, it will generate 1 fuel. It currently has 15 fuel in its resources. We'll transfer them to the fleet. Return your fleet to the Starbase to unload any resources you collected. Now this is a little weird, because once the tutorial ends, any resources we collect from this place will be added directly to our fuel. But it doesn't work that way with anything else. Crew, materials, and dark matter must be brought back to Halycon 6 for you to have benefited from them. So you've got to go out to this location, grab the stuff, and come back. And aside from this one time at this location, fuel as well. Though normally I don't think fuel works that way. Maybe it's a bug, I'm not sure. So in any case, let's click on our fleet and return home. Returning home consumes no fuel, but going to places does. The amount of fuel that will be deducted from you is based on how close you are to that location, with all of the fuel immediately being spent to make the trip. If you have to recall your vessels back to Halycon 6, keep that in mind, as you don't, from my knowledge, get a refund on the fuel you spent to travel there initially. Okay, and we gained 15 fuel. You can see it added it to our reservoir up there. Yeah, just like how Armageddon Empires would kind of work if you had to actually go out and collect the resources being gathered at these locations. We also completed a quest, and we gained 15 supplies because we are awesome. Commander, with all the recent events, the crew felt it necessary to create a short briefing for you. Here it is. Upgrade the Starbase and the fleet, recover Federation facilities, investigate space pirates. So, as of this point, the tutorial is over, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and read all of these. We'll click Start Game, but then I'm going to call it a session. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Building new room modules will require first carving out habitable space in the Starbase by assigning officers to explore its ruined modules. Then, we should build an officer academy to enable officer recruitment. That way we can train new officers to command any starships we build via the ship construction room. And recover Federation facilities. Following the invasion by those mysterious flesh vessels, most of the Federation is destroyed. However, some facilities seem to have been overlooked in the attack. We should send our fleets to explore the area in order to make contact with any survivors. And the space pirates. We've been raided by a pesky space pirates in the sector. Once we have a functioning fleet, we should pick off some of their smaller ships in order to gain a better idea of what we're up against. Alright everyone, those are our tasks, but we will not be doing any of them at the moment. In fact, before we start, we should directly promote a new officer from the ranks. I've prepared a list of suitable officers for you to choose from. Okay, so we've got Gaia Yamamoto, Guinevere Nugian, or Yasin Fleming. I think, everyone, I'm going to re-roll just once. Katarina Sarian, Tiberia Iglesia, Sabila. Actually, we'll do it one more time. I'm looking for something a little different here. Oh, actually, that looks good because I like crew panic. Inflicts dark matter extraction. That looks like a thief ability. No, we'll reroll one more time. Reggie Monroe. Okay, we'll pick this gentleman. I think Reggie's a guy's names. I think. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We'll pick this guy. At the academy, Reggie was the founding. Oh wait, crap! I actually would like a rogue. Now that I think about it, rather than the science guy, what do we got? Fire at will, dimensional flashbang, bridge shot. These are the upgradable. Oh, I should mention that, by the way. These are the space combat abilities that you can unlock with your people as they level up. Your ships have the basic abilities on them no matter what. For example, our engineering ship, that the one ability that puts the dot on them when we launch all those drones and the flak barrage, those are just part of the engineering ship. Any engineering ship you have will always have those abilities. These ones are ones you can, again, unlock as your characters level up. Fire at will. Inflicts vulnerable on himself. Fire at will. I don't like that. Dimensional flashbang. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. So is this. But I said I was going to take Reggie Moore with me. So we will take Reggie Moore with us. At the Academy, Reggie was the founding member of the Transdimensional Society, a student group that conducted risky portal experiments under the aegis of the institution, which briefly relaxed its policy against dimensional tampering. These regulations were, however, reinstated after most of Monroe's class disappeared mysteriously. One day, an incident neither he nor the Institute has spoken of since. On the plus side, however, he did manage to graduate at the top of his much thinned-out class. Good for him. What's his ground combat? Single ally, delayed recovery, emergency meds, psychic surgery, psionic blast. Okay, we will take this. Good choice, sir. Can never have too many science officers, if I say so myself. Okay, everyone. So we will stop here, and when we come back, well, we'll build a new science vessel for Reggie. We'll probably assign our current officer, Isolde, to clearing out another section while we wait for that ship to be constructed. And then we'll go out and see what it is that we're going to be doing. So I guess I'll see you... Oh, I guess I'll see you guys then. If you would like to be one of these people you see down here, let me know, because I think I can... Yeah, I can rename these folks. So it'll be on a first-come, first-served basis. In fact, I won't play the game again until after this has been up for a few days. If you would like to be a certain type of class, you can also let me know. So these are the ships I have right now. Here's the engineering. I'll hover over the abilities really quick so you can see what they do. Though I'd rather not have a duplicate of a class I currently have. So the next class I'll build will be a rogue. Here's our acolyte. If you don't know what these do, so I guess I can cover these again one more time. Knight, it's indeed a knight. Acolyte is like a white mage support class. Rogue is damage, very high damage. And we can click on all of these. We have other ships we can research. If we go to our tech screen, you can see now it's quite a bit larger. I think it might get larger than this, but I'm not 100% sure. We can learn how to build a warder, which is another type of engineering ship, and it's pretty cheap to research. A disciple, and a marksman. So we can also research these. I guess this is like a ranger, a range class. I guess this is the mage, and I don't know what the warder is. I don't know. So there you have it, everybody. If you would like to be someone else on this adventure, let me know. Now, we can't get the other officers very quickly. We need to build an officer academy, and then we'll get another officer. And then we can train officers by spending crew to gain one officer, as a heads up. Okay, so we'll cover everything else, I guess, or parts I've missed, as we continue to play the game. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it. I certainly do. And I guess I'll be wishing you guys to take care. And take care. I'll see you in the next one. I don't know how to end this. Help!